All right, we are now live, folks.
How's it going out there in the interwebs world? We got Robbo, Blair, Dr. Bob, and Sarge. How you going, Sarge?
G'day, Sarge.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Good
Hey,
to
sir.
If you got a question, ask the lovely gentleman on the side, because I'm not going to be looking at the chat. All right, so we got Chinese Elm. If no one read the title, obviously. I was going to do some sanding on this side because I pretty much did this last night. All right, I'll shut up now, all right?
Last night or early this morning, depending on what time zone you're in, right?
I'm only in this time zone, sorry.
So you did it today, our time, but now you're in the future.
No, you're in the past.
It's all how you look at it.
We're in the present.
Now, what's the lottery number that's going to win tonight in Michigan?
They're already winning numbers for me. You can't have them, sorry.
That's against the Time Lord's law.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know. One of my wife's nieces. We have a big lottery out here. It used to be the boys' homes and all that sort of thing, and the prize was $1 million mansion on the Gold Coast, plus cars, plus boats and everything. The whole kit and caboodle. Value of about $3 or $4 million. Anyway, the closing date was, we'll say, the 30th of the month, right? She said, I'm going to win it. She bought the ticket on about an hour before closing time. And, yes, she did win it. She knew she was going to win it. Just don't ask me how.
Yeah.
I have seen that happen a few times in my life, and it's really scary.
Yeah, it didn't. Must admit, it didn't do them much good because a few years later, he was a dickhead anyway, and they'd virtually just frittered the whole lot away because he went and bought a truck and decided he was going to become an interstate truck driver and all that sort of thing, and he did not have a business head on his shoulders, so and he couldn't be told.
Yeah, I think we run
Most
across
people
those
do.
quite a bit in our life.
Yep. Soon as people get money, soon as they get it, they have all of these big ideas, and they don't wait. They don't ask people. They don't. It's dumb.
Right. Good day, Tommy. Good day, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Tommy.
Howdy, Tommy. Howdy,
How you going,
Steve.
Tommy and Steve?
So, Jay, what's it like in the shed?
It's really nice at the moment, besides the 60% humidity. It's only 26 for me at the moment.
Good.
Yeah, about the same for me.
It's still hot for us.
But it's rising rapidly.
It snowed here last night. It only was a couple inches. No big deal.
Yeah, we got it here in Michigan, or at least Detroit area. It was mostly powder, so it's kind of blown away.
Thanks, Blair.
Yep, you'll always know Reeves Drive by its sound.
Oh, yeah.
I had heard, and here again, it's on YouTube, so of course you can flip a coin in a dozen times, and whatever is the most prevalent is going to be to the truth type game. But the guy that invented it didn't get a penny.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me, but it's nothing new. They've had that, like the Lambretta motorbike, the Lambretta motor scooter had that right back in the late 40s, and I'm sure it was around before that on their motorbikes and motorcycles.
Yeah, well, the
Good day, Mike.
The Romans, they found drawings of Reeve drives, but it was a stepped pulley system, but they would use a big lever to move the drive belt back and up and down the stepped pulley system.
How you going, Mike?
Yeah, well, all line drives were basically like that too.
Yeah.
Line shafting.
Howdy, Mike. I am here somewhere.
I can see you. You can't hide from me.
Well, I guess I was hidden because he couldn't see me.
Your earmuffs tend to show it off with your fancy headset.
No, he keeps popping out to the side.
Well, he's military. Here 1 minute, gone the next, and you don't know that they were there to begin with.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Steve. Snowmobiles have been using them forever too. And a lot of vehicles these days too. They call it a CVT drive though. Constant variable torque.
Hey, speaking of snowmobiles, I seen a cool little video on Facebook where this guy took a snowmobile, took off the skis on the front, built his own suspension and everything, put ATV tires up front, but then he took the track off the back and put a single ATV tire that was chain driven. I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, gotta have more power.
Yeah.
I used to love that show, Home Improvements. I reckon that was a dazzler of a show.
Yeah, it got a lot of people involved in woodworking.
Well, it did, yeah.
Even though it was all comedy, but people just used to laugh. I know people that it was that you could do that and do it right was the attitude. So people would start, fixing doors and doing it right because you had the example of what not to do. And the ever-patient wife.
Or you could end up like Tim and end up in the ER. Sorry, Robo.
That's all right. No, my wife reckons that I'm not a Tim because of all the mistakes he made, but because I got to modify everything when I get it.
I tend to do that most of my life too. See a problem and fix it. Things that I hate, the wrong type of screw heads. That just bothers me. I look at the idea, how do you maintain it?
Well, that's right.
I know on my original, the first lathe I got was a jet, but it was Reeves drive, and I assembled it and it worked fine. You come in a box. And then I decided this makes no sense. So I took all their bolts and nuts out and put cap head on. So it was easier to adjust and tighten.
Yep.
And lock washers.
Yeah, we know that, Mike, that you love modifying things. But, oh well, you see if you can make something better, I always reckon. Yeah, I must admit, I pretty well do the same, Mike. Like, half the, it just, bedding them in and everything just makes a heck of a difference to the way they work. They actually start working properly.
Yeah, over the years for sanding on lathe and that and off and off, I like the right angle drills. You know,
Yep.
it's not really a right angle, it's on a slope. And I really enjoy them, except they're all made in China. And I found that out. But that's no big surprise. But I've had them go bad. And the first time I had one go bad, I took it apart and found that the grease had all the sawdust impacted and it was hard as a rock because of the heat that was generated, because of bad lubrication. And it was only like $35. So I pitched it and got another one. And I opened it up and lubricated it with a better lubricant, put it back together again, clean. And every time I use it, I blow it out with an air compressor, my air hose, before I put the thing down back in its tray next to my lathe. And I've had that 9 years now. And
Yep.
the only thing I've had to do is change brushes. And when I tried to get it from the reseller, they wanted like $9 for a pair of brushes plus shipping. And I looked it up from the company that had it online, of course, from China. And for $4.50, I got a dozen brushes. And they're right there. They even have the curvature in the brush to fit right in there. So they slide in place.
Well, the Chinese used to do that. And the Poms used to too with their old generators. G'day, Robert. How are you? Midnight Joker Mike wants to know, are they new cracks, Jay?
Did someone
Hello,
see
Robert.
when I bent over?
Sorry, what was that, Jay?
Did someone see when I bent over?
No.
You said, is that a new crack?
You know, Blair,
I saw, but I didn't think that that's what.
you know, Blair, I think I've figured out a lot of your trouble. That lathe is too low for you.
Yeah,
You need to jack it up about 4 or 5 inches. Yep.
How you going, Robert? Yeah, I was going to say that to you too, Blair, a while ago. I seen you standing at it, and you can't even see it. You should be able to see the whole lathe just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. You got to get your elbow, put it up against your side, and then the elbow should beat up with the middle of the.
No, it's actually you put your hand on your shoulder like that, and there's a little crook in your elbow, right where your outer elbow meets. The centre should sit in there, but if you're doing bowls all the time, it pays to lift it up an inch further than that.
Maybe if you just get some wood and chalk it up or something, Blair, just as a test.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do like having things up. I mean, my bench is a lot higher too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm with you, mate. Maybe summertime comes around, I'll get some stumps or something like that, and just screw them to the stumps. You know, do them about that much higher.
Yeah. You're better off laying timber on, like between the two legs, so as it covers both legs. If you put it up on stops, generally they vibrate too much.
I just used some 4x4s to begin with, and then someone found that they were doing a house, and I got a couple of 6x6, and that raised it up for me fine.
Yeah.
From mine. Well, I was told they're low because the average height of the Chinese, who it was designed for, is how it's shipped.
No,
Granted, the Chinese are growing taller, but
no. The reason is that they save about $10 on each load by having 4 inches cut off the legs.
and the other thing you ought to do is to tie the legs together side to side, add a couple 100 pounds worth of weight. The easiest is bags of gravel, or if you do lawn work and want to buy the lawn supplies cheap right now, hit the big box stores where they want to get rid of it and buy it and put it under there now. If you wait till summer, that same bag of fancy rocks will be 3 times the price. And just leave it in the bag. 25-pound bags.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, I agree. Like all my loads are, they vary within 2 to 3 inches of each other probably, because when I start getting a sore back on one, I'll go to another one, just to change the posture a little bit.
Is that your daughter, Jamison?
Yeah.
Hello. I can see you.
Hello? She can't hear us, though?
They're saying hello. Yeah, it's like this cheapo bench I got. It's too low for me.
Yeah.
My monkey arms go down too low.
Well, you're a Marine.
Well, no. That's what happens when your knuckles. That's what happens when your knuckles drag on the ground. You see.
Yeah, right.
I see the joke for Marines kind of jumps continents there, doesn't it, as a knuckle dragger?
Yeah. Hey, Robo, if I ever come over, you better make sure you got a 64 pack of crayons.
We can organise that.
May get hungry. One of my buddies in town, well, actually, Savannah's boyfriend's dad. I'll get it out one of these days. Yeah, right? He sent her home with a little package all wrapped up for Christmas. I'm thinking, what is this knucklehead sending me? I open it up, it's a box of crowns. I was like, man, you fool. It was funny, though.
You got your mic muted there, Robbo? Oh, he knows it too. Okay. Somebody else is there. You had it muted for a reason or what?
Yeah, I was coughing.
Okay.
Were they wax crayons or like Sharpies?
They were Crayola crayons, wax crayons.
Oh, well, top quality anyway. That's all right.
Right. He could have got me some of those Dollar General ones.
Yeah.
He went high end and got Crayola.
Got it from Toy World, eh? Yeah, tough crowd today, isn't it? Huh?
You're slowly working out that chisel, are you, Blair?
I just put a stick on so I can, just work on video stuff.
So sorry, I can't hear you over the lathe.
I just put a stick of cherry on to screw around just to maybe do some finial stuff and see how it cuts and all that.
Yeah. Well, the secret is keeping the handle down low. Otherwise, it's just not. Oh well, that. Like I said, the 345s.
I would turn the camera, but I don't want to steal the show from him.
No.
So.
He's polishing his
Bingo.
wood.
You can steal it all you want.
No, no.
Just give us a look at that chisel you've got there, Blair.
All as I'm hearing is excuses.
Right. Now, if you pull back the sides of that a little bit, round it, that's a proper spindle gouge, all right? So,
This
but
is my roughing gouge.
yeah, that's all right. You can use it as a roughing gouge, but if you pull the corners back a little bit and get a bit of a curve on it, Jay's, you can't see me, but
Yeah, hang on.
put it on the shape of your thumbnail. It becomes a much more versatile chisel that way.
Diva wants the camera again. There you go.
Like that.
Amen.
That don't look like a thumbnail. It looks more like a toenail.
Oh, well,
Bigger in Australia.
not my toenails anyway.
Switch the camera, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. That's better. It's a much more versatile chisel. That's a proper, in my opinion, that is the proper shape for a spindle gouge.
And also too, Blair, has that got a fine? Has that actually come to a point in the middle
No.
of it?
No.
No.
No. Okay, that's right. Sorry, I just thought I seen it.
And they're great for roughing too. You can actually use it more of an angle and do a slicing cut when you're rough without a fear of hitting the edge of it. You hit the
Yeah, well,
edge.
that's actually the shape of that's a European roughing gouge. Like the normal English one is like a big U, but the Europeans always use a very wide spindle gouge like the one that I had there a minute ago.
Yeah, that's how I was taught when I was a kid from my grandfather from Ireland. And he had to make his own tools. You couldn't.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Bob. They couldn't get without having a good forge and a good like big hammer, pneumatic hammer to hammer them out. They couldn't get a U-shaped curve into them. So they always had them slightly flat.
Yeah, because that's one thing that he told me that his father taught him was tool making, because that's what my great grandfather had to go through it from the Masonic school he went to, because he was a Mason. His father was. So
Right.
that's before public schools.
Yeah, sorry, Bob. Right, Blair, can you drop your tool rest down further? Right. Now put your handle down. Drop your handle. You should hear and feel a difference. And you'll end up with a better finish. Lesson 101.
Listen to Robo.
Ride the bevel.
So
That's it.
this is my belly cam.
Yeah, that's all right. That's ballast.
Do not look at this area here.
Too late, Ethel.
You don't have a big enough door to cover it.
How about that?
It's a shop worked in.
I was gonna say, if it's too much cleaner, it look like one of those model shops.
Yeah. A showroom.
Yeah. Hey Jay, if you don't mind, when you get a chance, pop me up on full. When you get a chance.
Jawohl.
Jawohl.
Just put your money in the slot.
Yeah. That's what I just got.
Yeah, that's
got
nice.
that, like.
Very nice.
Getting ready for Valentine's Day, are you?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I get out of that one pretty easy, actually.
Throw that back up there again.
Yeah, I love the ripples. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a basket weave.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So each
really cool.
Each of the segments have a different pattern on them. You cut them out, the inside and outside. Just like, here's some of the inside pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
tell
see.
those too.
You see that spot there and the spot there at the bottom is
Yep.
one style. And then here's another one that I just didn't take the paper off yet.
Yeah. You got more patience than I tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I did that center one and then it come around on a knot. And after I cut the inside out, I was like, oh no, this one's going to be trash because that knot. But I put some CA in it and squeezed it together, left it overnight, went back in, cut the outside, and it worked so far. It's all glued together.
No, we'd better fill Robert in that. Sarge is a heathen. He's a scroll sawer, all right.
That's all right. Jup's been playing hooky and going over there and watching or being on John's channel.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have words with that boy, I think.
He doesn't come in here, but goes into John's. Better send him on the boat back over there, I think.
All right.
Blue Light Turner has actually been doing some pretty cool stuff too on the scroll saw.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Safari
not hard,
or whatever.
but it's cool stuff. Yeah.
And I can't say too much because Steve might jump in as well and hammer me. So
Well, I've been putting the link in there. I thought that might have been a hint, but I guess not.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there's the link.
He might be still untangling his beard, perhaps.
Probably waxing it.
Yeah.
Or
Too busy
putting
playing with his
conditioner in it.
chickens. Too busy playing with the chickens that he doesn't have. That wasn't too loud, was it?
What'd you do?
No, it was all right.
Blew the dust off my camera, that's all.
There you go, Robo. There's an easy one for you. Iron light.
There, I'll put it on full screen so we can see it.
Yeah.
Just tilt it back a little bit.
Beware of the dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that looks like it's got fairly straight lines in it. Good day, John. So you must have heard us talking about him, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, John,
Jamison?
ears itching? Yeah, we were talking about you, buddy.
Come on in, John. I'm feeling lonely.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the fort by himself.
Yeah.
Makes a change though, doesn't it? Because normally it's just me and Jupping amongst all the scrollies, you see.
Yeah. That's all right. You know what this means right here, right? The few and the proud. Always outnumbered.
But still winning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look out. You're in trouble now, Robbo.
How's it going, everybody?
Morning.
Wondered showed up.
How you going,
Morning.
Steve?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
We are good.
I almost don't blame you for picking at me when I weren't in the, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know if
artisans,
I don't know if it was your
only
great,
pick on
John.
those they like.
John. I don't know if it was your greatness. You might have to rewind it and watch it. Eh?
Actually, we're talking to your bloody hijacking our wood turning fraternity, you mongrel.
No, we'll just convert them over. Don't worry about it. Shay's already looking for a lathe. Jamison's going to get one. That's two.
Yeah.
We've got two of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Make converts out of them yet?
Even John said the other day he needs to get a lathe so he can turn some stuff for his scroll saw stuff. Yeah, there you go.
I heard him say that too. I was in that show.
Yeah.
So he can put
Thanks, Steve.
finials on top of his candle holders.
Yeah.
Hello, Shay. Her
Nice.
ears must have been burning too.
No, John most probably told her to come in.
Probably. Come on
How you
in,
going,
Shay.
Shay?
The water's nice and hot. They're frying me.
Good morning, Shay.
Just let me know if John or Midnight Scroller, if you come in and you're in the background and I don't see you because I'll have it in full screen. I don't see any of that.
Yeah, they'll have to type a message in because I can't see them on the screen. So.
They can just put it in the private chat, the message.
Hello.
Oh, g'day, Sid.
Sorry.
You having a holiday today, are you, Sid, or are you still working? Just to fill the American ones in, that and the English. We have a holiday tomorrow. It's Australia Day, so.
How you going, Sid? It's Invasion Day tomorrow.
What is it celebrating?
The founding of Australia by Captain Cook, but the big argument going on at the moment.
Okay.
Jay, don't take that off flat at the top. Try to leave it a natural edge. No, it's similar to your founding day, I suppose, or
Independence Day.
not quite. Your
Columbus Day.
whoa, Blair.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, your Independence Day was a day from when you got rid of the palms.
Yeah. No, I think you're talking about Columbus Day.
Yeah, right. That'd be more of an equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we think Columbus was here, but unfortunately, there are others that were here 100 years before him.
Oh, it's the same as Australia, but they landed on the wrong part of Australia. Oh no, they landed on the west coast, and the west coast is 99% desert with no water or anything on it except at given times. But
Rabbi John said that sounds like a made-up holiday.
yeah, I know. I saw that. Oh, we don't need an excuse to have a holiday in Australia, I tell you. Like any country that will have a holiday for a football match, in my opinion, is very strange. We actually have a holiday. Well, the eastern states have a holiday for grand final day. I think that's going to look rather neat, Jay, when that's finished. If the bark holds on there, and it looks like it might. Or has it come off? Oh, no, you might still get it there. Never know.
That came off when I had it around the other way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think you're right there, Sid, that it's only in Victoria. So that's the strange thing about Australia. We actually have state holidays and federal holidays. But if one state has a holiday, then another state generally follows by finding something to have a holiday for.
You saw that coming? I tried to.
Don't take too much out of the middle yet, Jade. Start working down from the top a little bit. Otherwise, you might get a bit of wobbleosity in there. Take that cut down to the base of where the curve is. Then don't take it any further, just do the next cut in. That's looked like a bit of bark flicked off, did it? Yeah. Oh well, don't worry about it. It'll still have a natural edge on it. And Shay reckons it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Chinese elm comes up nice. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Try doing that on a scroll saw, you lot.
See how long it takes a scroller to learn how to turn, eh? And they want to poke a stick at it all the time.
Yeah, we could do that. We just have to do it in segments. They glue it all back together, then sand it down. And even my daughter's playing with my scrap wood.
Ah, I used to have a dog that played with the bloody scrap wood. Sometimes it used to chew up a good leg too.
Yeah.
Thought it was great fun because, well, what I used to do was when in production work is I'd get a bed of sawdust behind me and just flick the legs off into that, and then at the end of the day just pick them up to pack them all. But the dog used to think it was great fun to grab a leg every now and again. Not my leg.
Well, Dad's playing with him. Why can't I?
Mm.
Yeah, right. She found my colored
That's
pencil.
What, your crayons?
They're Crayola, but they're actual pencils. So I can't.
Ah, right, okay.
Unless
Oh,
I'm bad
right.
on my fiber. Unless I'm
Yeah.
low on fiber.
Sid wants to know, he managed to acquire a nice piece of Chinese elm, that's good. And he also wants to know, did you get a chuck key? I found one that may fit.
Who are you talking to?
You. Sid wants to know, did you get a chuck key? For you, no, I'd say for you, Jacob's chuck and the tailstock.
Oh, no, I didn't. And this, Sid, this is the Chinese elm that I had sitting on my porch. The piece I gave, that you took a big giant piece out of. I don't think I sent you a link today, Sid. I just get to a point sometimes when people don't come in, I just don't send them the link anymore.
Well, I know you sent me one at 4 o'clock in the morning.
It just deletes the idea of you if he hasn't talked with you in a while.
Yeah. So that's why some people don't get notifications sometimes, because if they don't come in for a while, then I don't send it. It's that simple.
Sid says he'll post it to you.
All right, thanks.
And Shay reckons that, Blair, you've got a big cup.
Yeah, it's cold out here. I've got my heater going, and I needed a cup of hot chocolate.
Oh, yeah, well, I've got the air conditioner going here. I've got both doors open.
Sure, rub it in. Thanks. Hey, Darky.
Yeah, we got Dark in the chat. How's it going, brother?
Hello, you sexy, handsome man, you.
Hey, Joker.
Oh, yeah, Mike's been in for quite a long time.
Yeah, I know, but
Been very quiet.
for some reason, he just said hi to me, so I figured I'd return.
Yeah,
Hang
no
on,
worries.
Lucky.
Sid's backstage.
Sid's out back, in the outback.
That's exactly where he lives too, Jamison.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the outback.
Oh,
How you going?
bet.
Good day, Sid.
I can't hear you.
Hi, Sid.
Howdy, Sid.
Yeah, and Joker says he was messing around making a lamp holder when people came in. Yeah.
Sid, just check what. Sometimes StreamYard changes the microphone.
Yeah. Did to me this morning, actually.
I think it's treat time, Dad.
Yep, that's what it sounds like to me. The thing is, I think he hears you guys halfway across the house.
Halfway across the world, too.
Yeah. You got sound, have you, Sid? Yeah, no, quite often I've found that StreamYard alters the mic settings and everything.
All right, I'm done.
Starting to get a bit warm.
No, my lathe won't turn on.
Oh,
I need to clean. I got to clean out the on-off switch.
yeah.
That's what did it last time. So
Yeah, they tend to get a lot of dust in them.
and it's not under warranty anymore. So got to find the problem myself.
They're generally pretty easy to get out.
Yeah,
Just make sure. Yeah, just make sure the power's disconnected before you do it.
Yes, it is. Trust me, I've already experienced that before in my life. I don't want it again.
Has a tendency to light up your life.
What kind of volts are you running out there in the shop? Is it 110, 220?
240.
No. All of Australia is 240, 50 to 60 hertz.
Yeah, we only do 240 in like big shops and stuff. Otherwise, everything else is 110.
Yeah, no, we run 240 and 480 here. We've got 3-phase power as well.
Right.
I don't know. I need my husband. It's right here. I don't know. 22 to 30.
Seems to be the only problem I have with this lathe is the on-off switch.
No, it happens on a lot of them, actually, Jay. Even my big ones, occasionally I've got to take the switch off.
You have to take it right off, like unplug it from the wires and everything.
Oh, no, if you can, they generally don't put enough work. Hello, Dark's backstage as well. They generally don't put enough wire on them to get them 3 or 4 inches away, so.
I'll move my camera and show you.
Yeah, I had to replace mine after cleaning it enough, so as I decided that I just put a new one in.
Gonna do that with me. And I'll give her the bags.
Yeah.
It comes out.
Katie's gonna do that with the meat, so I just give her the bags.
All right.
Bang.
Mark down, get a bit of paper and everything, and mark down where all the wires go. The blue, the brown, and green wire goes.
Yep.
Hello, Dark.
Hi, Dark.
Hi, you sexy devil.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks. And yourself?
Pretty good. I figured it'd be easier to do this than try to type.
Yeah,
Now that I got my microphone problem squared away,
You got no excuses now, have you?
nah, I didn't really want to have the excuse I had last time, to be honest with you.
How's your rose carving going?
Yes, it's coming along. It's work in progress.
Hang on, I'll
And
pop you on full screen so they can see. Hang on, I'm getting there. Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
Wow.
going well.
yeah,
Yeah, it's,
nice.
it's work in
Nice.
progress. Right now, I'm just doing like refining work, kind of detail work that I don't normally do in video. Like even though I'm videoing this, I'm not videoing right now, but I'm trying to do a video on it. Like there's just some things you can't do and try to film at the same time. You know what I mean?
I know that.
And so they'll just have to deal with my sexy hands and what I decide to show them because it's all I can do. But yeah, it's work in progress. My main thing is that problem with it is, for me, is I see it one way in my mind, and trying to get it to look like that is two different things.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
sometimes the brain twists what the eyes see to the hands. That's the problem. You get a short circuit through there.
Well, in carbon videos, I tell you what, for carbon videos, unless you do an exceptionally spectacular job, they just bomb. That's
Yeah.
why I don't do that many of them anymore. I started out doing YouTube videos of carving because I started carving just before I started YouTube, and I started power carving, and you can get a lot more detail and more refined work with a power carver, but there's something about hand carving that just is sexy. Like Sid. Look how sexy Sid is.
JP's got a premiere coming up soon. If anyone's interested in watching some actual turning, other than me sitting here fixing.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sid.
No offense to JP, man, but I'm here now. I'd rather watch you fix your lathe.
Me too, Derek.
Nothing against JP or anything.
I'm
I
not
got
fixing to go watch JP, but I'm fixing to go eat some chow.
I don't have anything against anybody. I keep on hearing that there's some group that is hating on people, but I don't know who they are and don't really want to know. I think we're all woodworkers. We should all get along with each other and talk about how sexy Steve is.
It's the beer.
You're killing me, dude.
I'm offended, Dark. I'm on the outer now, am I?
No, baby, you're still the sexiest. You got to throw the dog a bone once in a while, Rolo. Come on now.
See you later, Jameson.
See ya.
See you later, Sarge.
Going in and get some chow.
Yep. You
All right.
back out and,
Take
You
care.
know that in Australia, chow is dog food, don't you?
Yeah. That's what it is for Marines too.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they call you the demon dogs or devil dogs for a reason,
Yep. Or Tufla and Houndens.
Yeah, be careful. Mama hears you calling her, referring to her cooking as dog food. Might not work out so well.
Jay, is that sorry? Jay, has that switch got numbers on the back?
No,
Some of
but
it-
I'm writing. I've got a piece of tape on each wire, and I'm writing what side it came out of.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, it's got in out written on it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Sid.
Oh, we did too. Disappeared into the ether.
I
Yeah.
hope I didn't chase him off.
What happened?
No, Sid dropped out. I said, I hope I didn't chase him off. I don't think I did. I didn't.
No, I don't think so.
He's out in the country, so his line gets a bit sketchy every now and then.
Well, I noticed I jumped on and everybody started dropping out. I was like, oh, they don't like to be called sexy. I get it. Okay.
No, it's actually your deodorant, Doc. That's what the problem is.
Oh, dang it. That's that new dead possum smell I found.
Yeah.
You've been to Robbo's house, haven't you?
Yeah. I wish I could go visit you guys. That'd be cool. We could go out and catch, King Browns or something together.
You've been doing that by yourself.
No,
Come
we're
on. Have an open mind, Jay.
well. Funnily enough, when I lived in Queensland, we used to catch taipans,
Oh,
and one of the deadliest snakes in the world. And we used to catch them for the Queensland University for
milk it.
anti venom.
Yeah. It milked them bastards like a chicken.
Yeah, what we did was you have two lines. No, they do.
Yeah, like a chicken. Yes.
Like, I'm going to have a word with you, Dark, about the species of animals, I think.
What, you guys don't milk your chickens? Come
Anyway,
on.
no, what we did was put up two lines of chicken wire and about 2 feet apart and put a hard-boiled egg in the middle. And what happens is the snake crawls through, eats the egg, and then it can't move backward or forward. It gets into the mesh of the thing, and because snakes are gutsers, they eat the whole egg, and it forms a big lump in their gut, so they can't move.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Then just untangle them, put them in a sack, take them away.
I don't know. I'd be scared as hell to mess with one of those snakes, man. I live in Michigan. We got one deadly snake in our whole state, and he's a pussy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I say that I wouldn't mess with one for sure, but like he's one of those snakes. You don't bother him, he won't bother you. Kind of deal,
Well, that's
So-
general amongst most snakes. They won't bother you unless you bother them. Unless you get caught between their safe place and where they are, then all you got to do is just move out of the way, because generally a snake will just nick off.
Well, sometimes you can hear them here in Michigan, rattling, but that's what it is. We call it most people call it the Michigan Rattler because they can't pronounce the real name. And it's a pretty little snake, but you don't normally see them because they hang out in marshes and stuff like that. So I mean, unless you're really going out to try to find one, you ain't gonna have no trouble with them. So, I mean, even them snakes, other snakes that ain't poisonous, I don't even mess with them. You ain't catch me trying to catch no taipan. Crazy people that live in Australia do that kind of stuff.
We're silly, haven't you noticed?
That's what I like about guys.
I tell you, I got a couple of big rattlesnakes when I was out in Arizona last time around. I think it was the last time. Might have been the time before that. But anyway, there's nothing cooler than staring down a rattlesnake when he's coiled up rattling at you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the adrenaline rush is ridiculous.
Amen.
Yeah. Of course, I had the 12 gauge, so he weren't, he didn't stand much of a chance.
I went to Kentucky for the first time in 2017 to visit some YouTube friends there. They had a big get together there in Kentucky, and I did some studying on the snakes they had. They got the cottonmouth and the copperhead there, and I tell you what, the whole time I was there, all I did was look at the ground. You know, just petrified.
Yeah.
I told him, with my luck, the first thing I'm gonna do is wake up and find a freaking snake in my sleeping bag. But I didn't see no snakes.
Yeah,
I
see
used to
where
be
I'm
that-
at.
What I had,
We have
when I
like
was
golf
in the
courses that
military.
are up on the mountain. Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Oh, when I was like Robo probably had the same experiences when you're in Southeast Asia with king cobras. Not the little ones, the 12 footers and 15 footers. And what scared me is the first time I saw one in the field was I was fairly new, like 6 weeks into country, actually into it, and I asked somebody, "What is that over there moving around? A stick from the ground?" And no, that's just a cobra looking for its mate, and it was up about 4 foot in the air, 5 foot in the air.
Screw
And
that.
I was really, they say they stand up a third of their length. And if you think 4 foot, then you can see it staring at you across the field, and it's looking for its mate. That scared the ever loving out of me, wondering where the mate was.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Sure, went right over there, Dr. Bob, and petted him.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like snakes then.
I don't like snakes
I liked
either.
Alaska well because they don't have snakes in Alaska at all. It's too cold.
And they all move south. They're like, screw this.
Yeah, they don't
Hey,
have
Doc.
them in Yukon, but they do Northwest Territory, some species.
Doc,
Yes, sir.
Jamison wants me to ask you, do you have corn on your pizza?
Do I have corn on my pizza?
That's just what he said in Messenger.
No. I've never heard of that before. Do people actually eat their pizza like that, or is that a joke?
I never heard of it before either.
Must be one of those Jameson things. I bet he goes to McDonald's is like, got your biscuits back there. I reckon I'll take some of them French fried taters. Give me the big uns.
Sorry.
I tell you what,
Robert?
if you guys do any carving, spend a little
No,
money on
I don't.
Amazon. And even if you don't, I mean, I'm sure they have other purposes they're good for, but you get yourself some of them diamond rifflers
Yeah,
files, man.
Oh,
These
yeah.
things are just, they're the greatest for getting in them little areas you can't get to.
all right, just hold on a minute, please. Right, Jay, don't pull that switch apart, whatever you do.
That's right, I can't anyway, I've already tried.
No, they're a sealed unit. What you got to do is tap it. You haven't got compressed air, unfortunately. But hold your finger on either the stop button or the start button for starters, and just tap it on something, a block of wood, and then do the opposite. Just roll it around, and hopefully the dust will fall out of it, or at least get away from the contacts in it.
Alright, I'm going to go and sit on my chair outside my shed.
Okay.
That's where I think a compressed air would be handy for them for those emergencies like that. 'Cause those
Yeah.
switches are notorious for that.
And Blair, you cutting out paper doilies, are you? You in the funny farm?
Robbo, I got this.
Turn it around so contact cleaner. Yeah, that might do if you can get it. If you can get it into the, but hold the switch down when you squirt it in through the opening where the switches are. You won't get it in. You won't get it in through the back. You can only get it. Hopefully, get it in through the front.
Where?
Well, hold if you push the button down and hold it down with your thumb,
Yeah.
and then get the contact cleaner and spray down around the edges if you can. It should leave a little.
It's got plastic over the buttons.
Oh yeah, I pull that off.
Do you?
Yeah.
It gets stuffed in there even more.
Well, no, what it does is actually it traps the dust in them. Plus,
Yeah.
after about 12 weeks or so, they start going hard, so you can't operate the switches.
You got John Nate in the chat. How you doing, John?
Hang on, John.
Hi,
Right,
hi.
John.
Andy?
How's your beaver?
No, wrong. That's Robert. Robert's got the beaver.
Yeah, I just seen him pop-
Unless you know something we don't, Doc.
Oh, I don't know. He made himself one hell of a huge black clock.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you say
hot.
clock?
I didn't say male rooster.
A big black clock.
Clock. That's right.
And Blair was busy modifying an orbital sander pad for putting on his inertia sander.
To be fair, John may well have a beaver. he's like Noah. I'm pretty sure he's got two of everything else.
Yeah, I see that he's got cows there as well.
Yeah.
Got horses, I know that.
You live on you got yourself a farm, John?
Yeah, when he goes out checking chickens, it's legit.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, them fancy farmers, man, I tell you what, they got some machines. I bet you John's one of those guys that's got chicken milkers.
Checking the chickens? Checking
Yeah.
the chickens or choking the chicken?
Milking them.
You better ask him.
You got
Do
to
that in a
milk.
private chat though.
Do you
And,
milk John, do you milk your chickens? 307 acres, man. 307. That's nice. I wish I had 307 acres. I don't even care if I do anything with it. I'd just like to have it.
John says chicken milkers. Oh my god.
Gotta milk your chickens, man. Otherwise they start letting out. You know what I mean?
yeah, Dark needs a biology and a lesson in animal husbandry, I think.
Animal husbandry.
I'm not looking to get married to him. I just want some chicken milk.
Sounds like a
you know how-
comment from the 50s.
You know, Robo, how I'm always calling you and Steve sexy and whatnot. I gotta be careful doing that with Dr. Bob. Last time I did that, he told me, "Hey, Dark, does this rag smell like chloroform?"
Yeah, Michiganders shouldn't do that to each other.
Yeah, it's rather funny. Like Mike has just said, 300 acres in the UK is a huge farm. In Australia, that's a hobby farm.
300 acres, that's about 50 counties in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen how they make their houses in the UK. I wouldn't want to live there. The houses look sturdy and everything, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they stack them suckers like. In fact, I think they're all hooked together in some cases. They're all just one great big house.
Yeah, well, they're terraced houses.
Terrace
Australia
houses?
Australia used to have a lot of them in the cities as well.
Townhouses.
Well, hey, even terrorists need a place to live.
No, not terrorist. Terrace.
Who's terrorists?
God, not only can't he see what animals are which, but he can't spell neither.
Oh well, you know.
No, down around our area, John, is mainly dairy or fat cattle, and yeah, 300 acres is about the average size of a dairy farm down here. But in the outback, they measure them in square miles. They don't measure them in acres at all.
Do you have a lot of dangerous snakes where you're living, Robo?
We get we've got our fair share of copperheads and tiger snakes, brown snakes. They don't come into the town much, but where I used to live, which was about half a kilometre out of town on a 5-acre block, wasn't unusual to see 4 or 5 during summer at all.
I'm right in the burbs and I get lizards and snakes all the time.
Yeah.
I know. I just hang out with Ghazi a lot. I haven't seen him in a while, but he lives there in Queensland, and he'd show me pictures of blue. The last one he showed me was a blue tongue lizard or something like that.
Oh, blue tongue lizard. Yeah, when we were kids, we used to keep them as pets.
Yeah.
And he said that he used to have a lot of problem with king browns, and then he got a boa constrictor, I think.
Yeah, the pythons up there.
And he said what he does is he takes the snake crap and he spreads it around his yard, and that keeps the snakes away. Because I guess the pythons will eat other snakes.
I don't know. No, constrictors normally like small animals and things rather than snakes because they can't. Well, a constrictor works on crushing their victim. Yeah. Or making it so they can't breathe.
Maybe it has just something to do with the fact that it's a big snake. I don't know, but he said since he's done that, it's kept the snakes away.
Yeah,
They don't come in his yard anymore.
I can't comment on that. I know nothing about it, so.
I don't either. So I'm just going by what he says. So it's something to keep in mind, I guess. If you have a bunch of snakes hanging out, like Steve, he's always hanging out.
I reckon it'd be a hard job trying to find snake crap.
Well, he keeps it in a cage, so the crap doesn't run away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when you gonna start doing some turning, Steve? Got me all excited about it, and then just left me hanging.
Probably when the weather warms up, brother.
Yeah, I hear you. That's my problem too. I'm waiting for fucking spring. Oops, excuse my language.
Damn, dude.
Excuse my language. Sorry. Waiting for spring. It's too cold to do anything here. Heck, poor Jay's little nipples would freeze right off here in Michigan.
How do you know he's got little ones? He might have big ones.
It wouldn't matter. It'd still freeze off.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even be able to. By the time Michigan was done with Jay, he wouldn't even be able to use a chicken milker to milk them.
Yeah, they just about get to the point where he could cut glass with them and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's too fascinated with snow. Get him in a good snowball fight.
I think Jay would like snow for all of a half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I consider snow, as I've said, cold, wet, slushy shit. So.
Yeah.
Robert.
That's about the thick of it.
Well, when it's wet and slushy, it is. But we're the winter wonderland. That's Michigan's motto. Right
Oh, I
there in
think
the winter.
Listen,
And,
you you want winter wonderland. I mean, we don't get winter like on Lifetime. You know what I'm saying? We get winter. It's
Yeah.
miserable.
Well, I don't know. I used to enjoy skiing a lot, that both downhill and cross country. Uh, in Michigan, I've got a lot of good ski trails and pretty good ski mountains. We got Mount Trashmore here,
Oh,
only
Trashmore.
an hour away.
That doesn't sound very good. It sounds like you're climbing
Well,
on piles of rubbish.
Probably
you
are.
are. It was a trash pile, and it mammoth, and they had built it up and built it up over the years, and there was a point where it was told they couldn't go any higher because of the waterways around it, and then they packed it up with 5, 6 foot of dirt all the way around it, and then compressed it all and added some more, and they made it a ski resort, and put in the snow machines so they could start early, and it catered to, well, actually 4 different universities were within an hour and a half drive of it. And the skiing was pretty good. I used to go skiing out there. But they found that after being in business for a while, they had little flames coming up out of the snow here and there. And then it was discovered it was methane from the trash
I'm sorry.
breaking up. So they actually, and still do, they had to bore into the side and put pipes in to collect the
Yeah.
methane, and that's what they heat the resort with now, is the methane from Mount Trashmore.
well, I had
It's
to.
called Mount Brighton because it's in Brighton, Michigan, but everyone that knows its history, it's Mount Trashmore.
In Victoria, they had to virtually evacuate a whole housing assembly, a whole housing estate at least, because they built it over a tip, which is technically illegal anyway. Like a tip is a dump in Australia, and yeah, the ethane and the methane coming out of it was, oh, the smell was absolutely horrible, and they actually had to evacuate it for the simple reason that there was a good chance that the whole lot could explode because the all the pilot lights going on gas heaters and things like that. So big to do, lots of civil lawsuits and everything else with the developers and everything. But in Australia, they actually put pipes and everything through to siphon off the methane and everything. It's a complicated business actually building a tip out here. Costs a lot of money.
They do the same thing here, but generally they wait till they cap it. I think before they sink the pipes in and
Yeah.
then, you know.
No, they just let it go off into the.
They make money.
Yeah.
But of course now they're not allowed to build on any waste dumps or anything because the land eventually subsides.
Yeah, that's like for a ski resort, that's not bad because one year the mountain's this way, the next it's a different way on a different side, but it's a very popular place for beginning and teaching skiing. The skiing is a big sport in the winter here.
John Nave says only went on skis once, broke 2 legs, never again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, Jay, have you tried it or not?
I know I can get the effing screw back in there. I'll try.
Okay. Patience is a virtue.
Amen.
I tried carving Shay's dimples, but I messed it up. I went just a little bit too deep and ended up with a donut.
Oh. I could only imagine you carving a mannequin for a store.
Who, me? That's too
Yeah.
much work for me, man.
Oh, they pay good money, but it's
Oh.
all power carving then.
Oh, well, that would be different. But not hand carving. Holy Moses, that would take me forever to do.
The people that I like watching are actually the chainsaw carvers.
Yeah, they're incredible, some of them.
Oh, absolutely phenomenal.
Have you watched? I've mentioned him on here before. Simon O'Rourke. Go check him out, Robbo.
Yeah, I
He
have.
does magnificent stuff. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another thing we have in the cold north is chainsaw work, but it's for ice sculptures.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you
some
know,
of
it
them-
used,
Something
used
else.
to be-
I really would love to do it and see it.
Bob probably remembers this, but it used to be here in Michigan. There was a lot of chainsaw carvers that would carve like bears and mushrooms, because we got morel mushrooms here. Stuff like that. Owls and stuff like that. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s. They used to do
Yep.
that, and then they'd go to the steam shows and sell them at the steam shows. But I haven't seen anything like that in a long, long time.
Yeah,
I forget what Jackson. Yeah, Jackson, Michigan had an ice festival often years ago where it was all chainsaw plus traditional carving with mallet and big chisels for ice sculptures. That used to be a holiday thing, but then the climate's shifting and it doesn't stay cold long enough.
Well, Michigan ain't what it used to be. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, John C's put in their international chainsaw carving competition in Chetwynd, British Columbia, every year.
Go check your messenger, Robbo.
Sorry?
Go look at your messenger.
All right, just wait a second.
Jay's sending you pictures of him in his yellow Speedo. He wants you to catch his taipan. Shame on you, Steve.
The climate change, Dark, here is really this winter. We've, at least where I'm at, you see the difference. And friends of mine, even though there's a quarantine, but if you got a snow machine and want to go north, I mean, you could be hours between seeing people, but there's still
time to me.
It's just not happening.
I don't
enough
have
snow for the snow machining unless you go to the UP.
I tell you what, man, I ain't got no use for half the people in Michigan. Some of the people are all right, the ones that actually use their head. But there's a lot of them that they're just out there, man.
I think every place has that, Dark.
Yeah.
Oxygen thieves.
Have you ever been to Dearborn?
Yeah, I
Well,
live next.
obviously not, but Dearborn used to be a nice place.
Yeah, Jay, I've no more suggestions other than that. You sure you got the wires and everything back in the right place?
Why don't you just bypass the switch? Put a different switch in it.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more complicated for Jay than that.
Yeah, I don't have money. And I only got paid 3 days ago, and I got no money left from that, so I've got to wait a fortnight now. So I'm kind of a bit pissed off, to be honest. And that's just
Well,
being
there's a way
modest.
to
Okay?
test
I
it.
could say a lot more, but I'm live, and I won't.
You can't wire it direct.
Oh, all the plugs are in the right spot, Robbo, because I marked them.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just go on talking.
Yeah,
I got a question, Robo, based on,
yeah.
I have no knowledge of your electrical code, but I know ours well. Do you have to interrupt both legs of the 240?
Define interrupt.
A switch to turn something on and off. Like that switch interrupts both legs.
Yeah,
Us,
no,
it's
it
only
don't.
hot and a neutral. But you,
Yeah,
they're
most switches in Australia, I think, just interrupt the active. That it works on the active wire. The neutral always stay. The neutral and the earth stay constant, and
Right.
the active wire is switched.
okay. We call it a hot leg, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So why don't you have him take
No,
the
no,
bypass don't interrupt the neutral.
No.
Yeah, no, I know what
After the switch is bad.
no.
You know.
I know what Jay's going to say. No, because he
I'm
doesn't
already
understand
saying no.
electricity.
I'm already
I know.
saying no as Dr. Bob's explaining it. No, not happening. And
Yeah.
I don't need any other brainstorming ideas either too. I'm not being narky. I'm annoyed and nothing's going to fix it other than a new switch and I've got no fucking money.
Yeah, no.
There you go, Chris.
How much is a new switch, Jay? Because I don't know.
Idea. No idea. Couldn't tell you. Doesn't matter. I don't have the money, so there's no point looking.
And the other, wait on, just hold on a minute. The other problem is that Jay probably doesn't have an ohms meter or a voltmeter, and he can't test it for continuity. So in Australia, you are not supposed to play with any electricity at all. You've got to get a licensed electrician. Even like technically, what Jay did there was actually illegal by pulling the switch out and rewiring it. You're supposed to call an electrician for that. But and I'm not being rude, Jay. Jay probably doesn't have the knowledge to work out how to work out a continuity meter anyway. So,
if I had the multimeter and stuff like that, then I'd just research how to do it. Tell me that.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay. I wasn't trying to.
Jay, do you have a PayPal account?
Yes, he does. It's at the bottom of the bottom
right.
of the screen
It's in
there,
the
I think.
description in the YouTube, and that takes 5 days to get to me, to get transferred to me. So
Really?
yeah,
Well, that sucks. I could, if you PayPal'd me money right now, I could go to the bank and get it out. I'm just saying. But that's not why I was asking. I was asking because I was going to tell you to look up your switch and see how much it is, man. I'd kick in on it with you. If not pay for it, I mean, if it don't cost too much, man, I'd pay for it. I don't know how much a switch costs.
Well, I changed identical switch on my lathe like that because I had kids using it, but I got a paddle switch. Same switch, but got the big red paddle you hit with your knee.
Yep.
You know, because that's much safer. Same switch in the background, just different toggle in the front.
That's interesting, Sid, because technically we're not even allowed to make up our own extension leads in Victoria.
So here in New York, you can do anything you want with electricity. You could wire your own house. If you're doing something like that, though, wiring a new building, you've got to have it electrically inspected before you close it up. But I could gut my house and rewire my whole house myself. Right? I could do anything. Yeah, I could do anything I wanted. But interestingly enough, you're supposed to have a licensed plumber do your plumbing work because that's dangerous right there. Right?
That's
yeah, well, that's the same in Australia. Like plumbers generally don't worry about water. You can do your own water work and they don't worry too much about it, but technically even that's supposed to be inspected. But gas, you start playing with gas and you're asking for a hat full of trouble.
Yeah, you're supposed to be. I mean, nobody does, honestly. Everybody that's a regular feller, does their own stuff. But you're supposed to get a licensed plumber to do any kind of plumbing at all. Period.
Yeah, I didn't have to be licensed to play around with stage lighting and that because it's just plug and connect. But if I'd had to hardwire in anything, then technically I had to get an electrician to do it.
And that all honestly boils down to the plumbers union was at the time they were making code, The plumbers had a stronger union than the electricians did, so.
Well, I moved around. I want to say weird. I worked my way through college being a licensed electrician. Started with a novice ticket in it for training purposes, and I ended up with all the way finished in college and it paid for it all. And the school hired me to do electrical work for it.
Yeah. Yes, Sid J's lade's out of warranty, unfortunately. They had trouble with the switch about 2 or 3 months ago and replaced the switch.
You can't change out switch like I don't know what kind of lathe it is, and I'm like I wouldn't know anyways, even if I did know what kind of lathe it was. But it must be some kind of fancy dancy switch, because over here a switch basically is 3 wires. You got your hot, your negative, and your ground.
Yeah.
Hot, your secondary ground.
Go there then.
No, well, it's just the biggest. Like you can fit any switch on, but the biggest problem is that the switch is made to fit into a cavity, and it's a fairly common machine type switch.
Okay.
But what I generally do is once mine's fouled up, I put a normal, virtually like a light switch in or a GPO in, because they're only about $5 or $6 at Bunnings, which is our big box stores here. And if they foul up, I just chuck them in the bin and go and get another one.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I mean, now let me ask you a question. Okay. Do you run? Does your electricity run like American electricity or UK?
More like UK than America.
Okay, so instead of running 110, you're running 220.
That's right, 240.
240.
240. Okay.
And yes, Joker, you're right. It's a no volt switch.
So Robbo, Joker has asked me to ask you to read his earlier comment. I believe it looked like a KJD-6 NVR switch, I think is what he's referring to.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Joker. Unfortunately, the little buggers, you can't pull them apart because they're, I know they're not expensive, but anything's expensive to Jay at the moment. And, yeah,
Oh,
I must admit, I like the bigger switches where you can pull the covers and everything off them, and you can get in there with an airline. But those little switches, they're a little pain in the neck because they're all sealed up, and the only way of getting them apart basically is break them.
And Bob, to reference back to your question earlier to Robbo earlier, Dr. Bob, I'm pretty sure their 240 comes in on single leg like our 110 does.
Right.
I don't think their 240 is like our 240 on 2 legs.
No, I know that. There's single phase.
Yeah.
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 Well, 240 with 2 hot legs is still single phase here. It's just 110 or 110 and 110 is 220, right?
Yeah.
And a neutral.
Right.
So, but over there it's like our 110, only it's 240.
Right.
220.
That's why ours is called split phase.
Yeah.
And theirs is straight, but we have a split phase system.
Yeah, I must admit, I know my limitations with electricity. Like, that's why I ring my brother. He's an electrician, so.
Now,
Like
Jay, you should hook that switch back up to your lathe, man, and stick your tongue on it and see if it's getting any juice. He's gonna shoot me.
Yeah, Rob. Well, I'm like you. I know. I understand enough to get by. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's the same as me.
Yeah, I'm by no means an electrician.
Dark, you remind me of an apprentice we had once, and I'm a motor mechanic by trade. Anyway, we had a car come in, and the report was the cigarette lighter wasn't working right. So anyway, I said to him, look, just push it in and feel if it's getting hot, you know. So anyway, he pushed it in. I came back about 10 minutes later, and he's got a lovely black scar right round his nose like this. What he'd done was shoved it in the hole and then gone and branded the end of his nose.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So,
I'm not that bad.
Wow.
But the problem is how do we get a switch for him that he can unplug one and plug the other in, just like he did on camera? Because long as the feed comes in one end of it and out the other end of it, that's all that matters. You can't screw it up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I figured it was just like a normal switch, normal on and off switch. But yeah, I got to looking at the switches, and they look kind of complicated.
some of them can be. Like, I've got a... Yeah. All right, midnight, Mike. I wasn't ignoring you. I had read the earlier comments. Yeah. Oh well. And I very much doubt whether Carbatech would actually have a switch in stock. They very rarely do. And trying to get them from an electrical supply store. Yes, you can buy bigger switches because they're more into industrial and domestic type switches and machine switches. Unfortunately.
Is there anything? Think about it, Robo. I mean, is there anything Jay could use to swap that out with? Like that would be easier to repair?
Yeah, like he could join the wires together and use the switch on the wall to do it.
Yeah, that would work.
But
That's
I don't have a switch on the wall. Everything connects into a power board, and if I turn that off, everything gets turned off.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was just about to say. I'm pretty sure that he only has a single lead comes out and doesn't have a switchable power board.
What he could do is he could hardwire it like you were talking about, and then take the plug for the lathe and plug it into a power strip that has a switch.
Yeah, well, that would work, but unfortunately, Jay only has an extension lead coming out from the house to the shed.
Oh,
So, yeah, everything comes off that way.
oh, that wouldn't be no good. Then.
At least I think I'm right, aren't I, Jay?
What?
Yeah.
If he really wanted to make it difficult, what he could do is he could wire his shed, and then plug in the extension cord from his house into the one plug that goes to the other wall sockets.
Yeah, yeah,
And then have one wall socket, at least one wall socket by his lathe that had a switch that would cut the power to that switch.
yeah.
That's a lot of extra work, though.
Oh, yeah, and expense.
That's how I'm going to do mine when I go to do it. But
Go look at that link, Robbo.
Sorry, what, on Messenger?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Listen, fellas, I don't mean to. So my beautiful wife made sausage gravy and biscuits for supper. So I'm going to excuse myself if y'all are still here when I'm done enjoying sausage gravy and biscuits. I'll see you. If not, I'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, see you later, Steve.
See you
So
later.
jacked, Steve. Sounds so
Yeah.
good.
Bye, Steve, you sexy dog.
Is that it, Robbo?
Wait on.
I like Steve.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that looks like it. That looks like it. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
hard to.
the
It's
only
hard to.
thing, Robo,
It's
I
hard
think,
to. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell from the illustration, but that is the type of switch. Yes.
You can actually put your pointer over the other pictures on the left-hand side, and it shows you the back of it and front of it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's slightly different. It hasn't got spade terminals on it, but
So are you screwed then, Jay, or?
Yeah, pretty much for now, I think.
Oh, that sucks, buddy. I enjoy coming and watching you make stuff. Now what the hell am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to watch other people.
Aw. I'll come on just for you, Doc, alright?
Alright. Have that lovely wife of yours come out and just turn the wheel that turns the you know, the drive shaft. Right?
pedal,
It'll take a little longer, but
Yeah.
pedal faster.
yeah.
I've got a motor,
Treadle
I've got an old sewing machine motor with a pedal on it. I'll go grab that, shall I?
Better yet, just take do you got a cordless drill? Just
Yeah.
put a large cork on it and shove it in the spindle, and then
I
turn
know
it
somewhere I'd love to shove that large cork.
Oh, you dirty dog, you.
Yeah, they're not cheap. I found another one, bloody $27.
Yeah.
You keep talking like that, Jay, and I'll have to get Dr. Bob to show you that rag with the chloroform on it.
hey, Robo, before he spends money, might I suggest the one more test
Yep.
to determine whether it's a switch, which is more than likely, or a capacitor. Just to bypass the switch, unplug the lathe from whatever it's plugged in, and connect them together and plug it in and see if it starts. Just totally bypass it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He hasn't got a switch power point out there. He's only got a power board.
Right.
And
But
that
plugged in. The lathe is plugged into it, isn't it?
yeah, but so is a lot of other things as well. But
There's my computer, my monitor.
Right. Just unplug the lathe from the power board, bypass the switch, and then plug it in to see if the motor starts. That will guarantee that it is the switch, not the motor or the capacitor.
Yeah.
In other words, bypass the switch and then plug it in.
That's what we were talking about before. That's what I would do, but
worst case, it's going to blow a fuse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if he gets it wired wrong, but that's not hard to wire right. You can talk him through it on a connection.
I'm not touching it. I am not touching it unless it is to put a new switch on it.
And as Mike has said, there's no capacitor on those motors. They're a induction motor.
Okay.
Yeah, like mine.
Yeah.
Little plug-in decent. Well, it'd be a little AC powered motor.
Yeah.
My jet, that's like his, but it's really, really old. It's capacitive.
Yeah. No, that's the problem, Mike. You can't see inside the case. You can't see the contacts at all.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jay, seeing how you're replacing the switch, I would be looking in to see if you couldn't find a switch that's more readily available, especially if it's a switch that's hard to get.
Not hard to get. It's just I don't have the money to get.
Yeah.
I get paid fortnightly, and I got paid the Friday just gone. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I better go and do some work, I suppose.
All right.
It's 11 o'clock.
All right. No worries.
Bye, Robo. I miss you already.
So do I, Dark. I miss you too.
Get a room, you two.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's a black box, Mike. No, still no joy with the switch.
Yeah, the Powermatic lathe has that problem on their remote switches of getting dust in the contacts. But the nice thing about that Robo is that it's a two-contact switch, but it's only a low voltage going through it because it's a control voltage, and they only use one set of contacts. But when they get dirt in there, to Powermatic, it's perfect because you buy a new switch for $90 instead of using the other contacts in the switch.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know you can do.
No, I'll just wait.
I fixed mine because I just used some bathtub sink sealant, and I sealed all of the holes in the back of the switch so dust can't get in it.
Yeah, Sid's saying there's a switch at the Adelaide store.
Okay.
Did you get my message, Jay?
Yeah, and no.
No, look.
No.
No, that's fine. Look, please.
No.
Damn it, Jay, you go over there and you look right now. Pretend it's porn. You just get over there and pretend it's porn.
I'd order you one, but it would take a while to get to you.
Just put that on top on the bill, huh?
Yeah.
How much was it, Sid? I found one on Amazon for $28.
Yeah, but you won't get it for yonks.
It says 5 days.
Yeah.
That's yonks.
You should be able to have some major store around you.
I live in a one-horse town, unfortunately. One-horse town means you don't have bugger all in it. I've got a quarter of the population of like Melbourne and Sydney and stuff. So
I offered Jay, but I don't think it would do you much good if he had to wait 5 days for it to get it.
Yeah. Sid's just put in there. It's ready to pick up in 30 minutes.
what?
Where are you running?
I would hazard a guess and say that Sid has ordered it for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sid. Bloody hell. I just told Robbo no.
I would have bought you one if I could have get it to you quick enough.
Yeah, me too.
You got friends all over the world, dude.
Yeah, I know. I try
Look,
not
I know. Jay, there's an old saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just say,
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Unless,
thank you very much, Sid.
unless it's Sid, then you grab him by the whiskers and just kiss him right on the lips.
Oh no!
I'll leave
I
that for
would-
you, Doc.
I don't plan on having him buy me a Switch, so I really don't have
Thank
a
you,
reason
Sid.
to. That's only for people who get Switches from him, or so I'm told.
No, knowing you, Dark, you'd go for the tongue too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, a kiss ain't a kiss without a little tongue.
And Sid, your bottle will be in the mail next pay, all right? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it.
Poor Sid. Just so you know, Sid, I'm just joking, man. Control yourself.
He's not joking, Sid. He's really not joking. That's why he's not looking at the screen.
Yeah. Ooh la la.
Sid says, I used to wonder about Dark. I don't anymore. What? It's a case of this when you walk into the room. Is it Dark? Up against the wall?
Yeah, no. You don't have to worry about that at all. I'd like to joke around and have a good time, but you would never have to worry about that in real life at all.
Well,
I'm
if
gonna
he's
run
got
away
30 minutes to get it, we probably ought to let him go and get it.
It'll take me 40 minutes to get there, at least.
Well, just
Well-
leave it running.
I don't
be
mind
here-
leaving it running. It doesn't bother me. You can stay in here.
Just leave it running, and we'll be here when you get back.
All right. See you later.
Yeah, like I said, I've got to go to work too. So thanks everybody for coming in.
So do I.
It's
I
been a
gotta
good
get
day.
down for dinner.
You come
And
back.
Blair, remember to keep the handle down, 45 on the flute, and 45 degrees to the timber, and it will cut. Right.
And people will be happy, and I won't have things flying across my shop.
No. All right. See you later.
See you,
Yeah.
Bubba.
Catch
Jay.
you all later. Bye.
Yeah.
You come back when you get back, buddy. If you go live again, man, and I'm around, I'll jump back on here with you.
Yeah, well.
Ditto.
And so will Blair, because he says it. By the time you get back, it'll be his sexy time.
Plenty of time for you too.
All right,
Alright.
guys. Have fun, man.
Yeah.
Drive safely. Bye,
Always.
Blair. Bye, everybody.
See ya.